Hey everybody, so it was a pretty great year for concerts. And 2024 for me, I got to see some bands I'd never seen before that had been on my bucket list for a long time. And so to wrap up 2024, I figured I'd do a top 5 favorite shows that I attended in 2024. So my number 5 show would have to be the Sheepdogs, who I saw down in Dallas, Texas at the Kessler. These guys freaking wail. It was like going to a 70s classic rock concert. Every song had a guitar solo. All the classic rock solo tropes with like the guitars up in the air and doing the hops with the guitars. Like, it was just awesome. The vibe was great too. Everyone was having a great time. I love the Sheepdogs, love their sound, love the guys, and so it was just one of my favorite shows of the year. So the fourth one takes me all the way back to my angsty, aggressive teen youth with Limp Bizkit on the Loserville tour. This show really surprised me because looking back on Limp Bizkit, I don't think they're ever really known for their technical prowess, professionalism, stuff like that. And then 20 years later, you expect, oh, maybe these guys aren't going to be as sharp or as clean or as good as they used to be. But that show was right on point. They put on one hell of a show, very entertaining, and I was just singing along loudly to every song, and it was just a great time. They played the hits. There's maybe like 1 or 2 songs I wasn't super familiar with, but all the rest of them were just amazing. Their energy was great. Went with the homies, the local vinyl crew here in Salt Lake City, and we just had a freaking great time.
Everybody sucks. Don't really know why, but you wanna justify ripping someone's head off. Don't keep in contact, and if you interact, you like it's on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. Just run on stage.
Number 3 is actually a cover band. And it was Babes Against the Machine. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know how much I love Rage Against the Machine, how much it broke my heart that I haven't been able to see them live, and everything that happened with their public service announcement tour, whatever that was called, that eventually got canceled. So this was my opportunity to finally get some Rage Against the Machine live music action. I don't know what other word to use. And the Babes Against the Machine, they freaking killed it. Like, they made every song sound exactly like it does from the records, from the albums. All the little nuances and Tom's guitar and everything as well was just spot on. Just incredible. And then the energy they definitely had some badass attitude as well. And I was there with a good homie in Fresno, California, who's also a huge Rage Against the Machine fan. And man, we were just singing our hearts out and just had such a great time that night. And that's why I think it's my my number 3 favorite of the year, just because how much fun we had and how awesome the Babes Against the Machine were. So number 2 on my list, I'm surprised I haven't seen this band before live, considering how much I like them, and that's Weezer. I got to go see their Blue Voyage or Blue Planet Voyage tour, whatever it was called, where they played the Blue album all the way through. They also played some other songs, hits from their other albums as well, but they played that Blue album all the way through, and that's what really hooked me in because I love that album. It's probably one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums. There's no skips on that album. It's one of the few albums I think, honestly, truly, no skips. I went with my oldest friend, a friend I've known since the 3rd grade. She and I, we got space costumes, went to that show, and just getting to hear that album live from front to back in Sacramento, California was just an incredible experience. I had so much fun. The vibe was great. Everyone was having a great time. Weezer was able to capture, I think, the magic of that first album, and I could tell that they were truly having a good time doing this tour as well, which made it even more awesome. number one, which kind of took me by surprise considering all the great bands I saw this year. I mean, I saw Vampire Weekend, LCD Sound System, These Sacred Souls, Leve, so many great artists I saw this year. But my number one of this year, of 2024, is actually the Postal Service. I love the Postal Service. Their album is incredible. I still listen to it regularly, and to finally get to see that album performed live at Kilby Block Party in Salt Lake City this year was honestly a dream come true. I had actually bought tickets to that show for 2023 to see him in Vegas, but something came up in life. I had to eventually sell those tickets, didn't get to go. I was super bummed out about it. But when they came back for Kilby, I was just super stoked. And it was one of the few times, I think, ever in my life where I've been at a concert where I started to get the feel, starting to feel swell up. Like, oh my gosh, is this song going to make me cry? Because it's so great. It was just so impactful. Almost, I guess you could describe it, and this is going to sound really cheesy, like a spiritual experience almost. It was one of the few shows I left this year thinking, man, if they were going to do that exact same show tomorrow, I'd 100% go again tomorrow, regardless of the cost, because it was that good. Favorite show of mine for 2024 is the Postal Service, which I think just did a fantastic job.
They won't see us waiting from such great heights. Come down now. They'll say that everything looks perfect from far away. Come down now.
Anyways, those are my top 5 live shows that I saw this year. I saw a lot of great shows this year. I think it's probably my most heavily concert attended year in my entire life. So there was a lot of great contenders. I hope you all had a great 2024 and you also got to check out some great shows. Let me know what some of the great shows you saw this year were in the comments, and we could chat about it there. Have a good one.